All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at BotBots Series 6 DUD SPUD from the Hunger Hubs. Yeah, DUD SPUD here is kind of an interesting little BotBot insofar that this is a repaint of a previous BotBot of Spud Muffin from Series 1, but unlike a lot of the other repaints, they really didn't do much of anything different. Like, there's differences, but it's basically like the reboot of Spud Muffin rather than like a different character. Like, they're virtually identical aside from, like mild color differences and things like that, and the facial expression in robot mode. But they're pretty much doing the same thing, which I think is kind of strange. Like, same color carton, all the paint apps largely in the same places. It's just a bit of a weird thing. I'm guessing what was probably going on here is because Spud Muffin was a prominent character in the BotBots show, they wanted to sort of like soft re-release Spud Muffin, but since they haven't done that with any other BotBots, they decided to rename it DUD SPUD, which is still pretty similar to Spud Muffin, but yeah, it's kind of a weird thing. Obviously, Spud Muffin is in the Greaser Gang and DUD SPUD is in the Hunger Hubs, but that's really just because of, the team also kind of rebranding as well, since they're kind of similar vibes in the teams as well. But yeah, no, it's actually kind of interesting in that if you look at the sort of like fry section here on Dud Spud, it's actually cast in white plastic as opposed to the yellow plastic that Spud Muffin was cast in, and then it's actually painted that yellow color, which I do think makes it look a little bit better in terms of depth. I do kind of prefer the lighter yellow for the fries rather than this more orangey yellow, but I do think it captures the details a little bit better. A little bit strange that they did it that way, but still kind of interesting. And then other than that, like the red on the little carton here is a slightly lighter shade of red, kind of more orangey. And that's about it. I mean, you can kind of see on here that the arm detail that was painted on Spud Muffin is not painted, but that's not really for this mode. And yeah, so it's not really much of an improvement for Spud Muffin, and that's unfortunate because in terms of fry mode, they're both kind of bad. I don't really like the fry mode on this mold very much, just because like I feel like it doesn't really do the sort of easy thing of looking like fries in a carton, where it kind of looks like, oh, you've got this huge fry block here, and then instead of it looking like it's actually embedded in any sort of carton, it's just kind of sitting on top of this like block of really obvious robot parts folded up, so it just doesn't really look very good. Yeah, they didn't really put a lot of effort into making this like actually shaped like a carton of fries. Mostly all of the effort went into making the block up here look like fries, which I don't even think it does super well anyway, because they're kind of like weird and chunky and clipping through each other, which is weird, but whatever. I've never been overly fond of this mode, but I think you can kind of tell what it's supposed to be when you look at it, but transformation is obviously exactly like Spud Muffin. You just want to take the little arms from the side here and pull them out on these sliders. Take the little legs in the back here and just fold them up like that. Take this flap on the fry piece and then slide this whole section up, and then take this whole section and then rotate it down, and then kind of compress it back in, and take this little tab on here, which is notionally supposed to go in that slot right there, which doesn't really, but it also doesn't really matter. And yeah, there we have DUD SPUD in their robot mode. And yeah, really looking like Spud Muffin, just with a different expression on their face. And I can show that off here by transforming Spud Muffin real quick, just so we can see what the two of them look like with each other. You can see still, different expression for the mouth, but that is the biggest difference on this whole guy, on this, like the whole, reboot of this guy is pretty much just the same thing. There's less paint on the arms. The like I said, the red is a little lighter, and the top piece is more of an orange because it's painted than the yellow, and the mouth is different, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, they're pretty much exactly the same, and it sort of feels weird to have these two guys. I guess that you could have them be twins if you want. Spud Muffin and Dud Spud seems a little strange, but you could do that. But yeah, and again, I'm not overly fond of the robot mode either. It's like fine, it's just not that exciting. In terms of articulation, same thing as before. You can rotate the arms up and down. It does have that thing that I still like from before, where I doubt this was intentional, but because of the way the legs hinge down, it kind of makes him look like he's got a little bubble butt, which I think is really funny, but you just kind of cover it up with the flap anyway. So, yeah, kind of a weird one, Dud Spud. Honestly, like, if you saw my review for Spud Muffin, I think you know where the scoring is going to go because there's just not enough different about them to really say one way or the other. Robot mode is going to be a 2. I don't really like it all that much. It's not that exciting, and I don't know, it's got kind of like weird proportions. Alt mode is also a 2, which even feels a little bit generous, honestly, but you know, the robot mode one feels maybe a little harsh, so it kind of evens out in there in the end. Because I really don't think it really looks like a carton of fries, and I don't think that that would have been a difficult thing to achieve with a BotBot because it's kind of the right sort of like, you know, chubby proportions to do that kind of shape because it's not like a long object or anything like that. So it's really just feels a little bit lazy that the fry mode looks so bad. And then transformation is normal average 3 out of 5, which is going to give Dud Spud here an ultimate score of 7 out of 15, which makes them a 1-star BotBot. So yeah, Dud is right. Spud Muffin was a dud, and Dud Spud is also a dud, unfortunately. If you want to pick up Dud Spud, you've got a couple different options. You can either get them in the racer-roni 4-pack with the little, you know, pizza car, or one of the 2 Hunger Hubs 5-packs. It's actually the chase figure for, so you're looking for the one with Don Million and Wafflenetic. That's the one that you want. That pack has Dud Spud as the chase figure for the set. So yeah, those are your 2 options for picking up this BotBot. Or alternatively, you could just get or have already had Spud Muffin and you pretty much already have it. So that's pretty much all there is to Dud Spud. Not that good a BotBot, and kind of perplexingly just the same as a previous not that good BotBot. What can you do? But yeah, if you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have BotBots Series 6 Dud Spud.